Hello everyone, welcome to Tina Vo Shop. So today we are going to learn about this lesson right here. So I'm going to show you how to do these 3D strawberries. And the ring fingers, that's easy, it's an ostrich leather. I already demonstrated that, but I can demonstrate again today. And then we'll learn an ombre technique, and then that'll be it for the design today. So the main lesson is a strawberry, and it is easier than you think it is. But for this design, you require specific product. If you don't have the exact product, you're gonna find yourself work, and more work. But for this, we are going to learn about chrome isolation for the leaf. And then we're going to learn about the clear clay dough and how to embed the bead right in it. And that's it. That's the only two techniques that we learned today. And I will write down my website. Everything that I use is as www.tinovo.shop. Pin it right here. And just in case you haven't joined yet, this is a WhatsApp group that you can join. Anytime that we go on live stream, we go onto this group to alert everybody. So you can take a screenshot of this and you can join for free. All right, now I'm gonna start our lesson. So first, I need a nude. I'm gonna pick out my favorite shade of nude. This is Baby Blush Nude that I'm gonna use. I'm going to apply 2 coats onto this nail. And the reason why I apply 2 coats, because this nail are see-through. But on your client, most of the time, you might find yourself only need to apply 1 coat for a more natural look. Go ahead and cure this color for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to apply 1 more coat. After that, I'm going to use this color, Royal Red Art Gel, to draw so I can tell you what art gel is and its ability. But first, I'm going to take this and apply out on the palette. I'm going to get out my spatula. Have 1 scoop. Putting it out. And then clean with paper towels. Then I'm going to apply the 2nd coat of Baby Blush Nude. And this nude that I'm using, I calling it top gels because it's like a top coat. It's dry, no wipe. Your client can walk right out the door. Mainly because when people want to use nude, most of the time they want their nail to be natural looking. They don't want a bunch of top coat on it. So that's why I create top gel. So after it's clear, you can be done with it. Now, I am going to draw next. So the brush that I am using will be a 10mm liner first. And then when it comes time to painting, I can use either a coloring brush to paint, or I can use a emboss brush to paint also. Hi Tara, good morning. Let me moderate you as moderator. So I'm going to put these 2 on the side. Okay. Now after this come out, we're going to start drawing the strawberry. So I'm going to take my 10mm liner and rock it from side to side. You want to soak in your gels and you want to stroke it out. Now start right here. If you want, you can mark a center line just to know how long your strawberry is, because you already know how wide your nail is. So it's smarter to mark it out, especially for beginner, so you know the position of your strawberry is going to be. Now, first is you need to create a curve. And when I come down here, I'm going to stop because I know that the shape of a strawberry is not an oval. So I'm going to stop here. And then I'm going to go in diagonally, going in. Now, after that, I am going to start down here. I'm going to draw like a U shape. This is a bottom shape of the strawberry. And after that, I am going to color in everything so you can see its shape. Normally, I will proceed differently, but for visualize teaching it, I need you to see the color going in first. The brush that I'm using is called an Emboss Brush. And it's built with a thicker body, thicker than a 10mm. So you can paint very easily and work with heavy gels. Okay, so now I already draw it in, so you can see the shape now. Now, you need to smoothen this out, and you don't need to look at the red. And in fact, you need to look at the nude, and you see an angle right about here. You need to use it to smooth out that angle, just like that. Just sweep your brush over it. And we're gonna smooth out that angle. As you see here. So I'm gonna do it again on the other side. And remember to help your eye, especially for beginner, you don't look at the red, you look at the nude. Start from here and you just flow down, just like this. Okay, so after you have your strawberry, you can clear and then you can add on to the chrome detail. We're gonna draw some leaf and that's gonna be chrome. So first, we need to examine your strawberry again just to see if it's big enough. If it's not big enough, you can slowly draw it out to make it bigger. And if you're satisfied with it, you can go ahead and clear. So at this point, I'm satisfied with it. And you can see how you can break down the shape if you have trouble with the shape. If you're a good drawer, you can skip that and just go ahead and draw the whole thing in and color it. But if you're a beginner and you don't know how to draw a strawberry, if it come out looking wrong or it come out looking crooked and such, or it doesn't look like a strawberry, you can use this concept to break down your fruit so you can draw it more accurately. Now you can go ahead and clear that. So the reason why I use art gel mainly because you already seen how I painted. Art gel is cell level, so it doesn't matter how you paint it. Your gel, like this is a really bad way of painting it, and a lot of beginner painting like this, whether you're a liner and they just keep stroking over it. It's like mutilating it, basically. But you see, art gel is great, so it can slowly smooth out. It doesn't matter how you paint it, the surface will smooth out eventually. You see that? And that is very rare in gel paint because gel paint made for line. So it have semi-lower quality of cell level more than gel polish. But you see, it just smooth out for you. So this gel is beginner friendly. And this gel, you can adhere chrome also because it can no wipe. So now I'm going to put that aside and take our paper towels. If you want to clean your art gel, you can. You can just wipe it right over like this. Or you can use a spatula and scoop it up like that. And return it to the bottle if you want. And then after you take care of that extra amount of paint, then you take your paper towel and put acetone over it like this. So you can clean whatever left on a palette. Now, when I take this out, I'm going to draw leaf and I'm going to chrome it. So I have to use metal effect gel because metal effect gel do very good chrome. It's very shiny. But you see, if I draw the leaf and rub chrome on the surface, what happened is chrome is gonna stick on all over the surface of my nail, and it's gonna be very messy. It's gonna make your job very hard. So what I am gonna use is called Teflon Matte, and Teflon is built so it's non-sticky to chrome powders. It's a very special top coat. So I'm gonna take that out, and I'm gonna apply Teflon all over the nail surface right here. One coat, and you're gonna cure this for 60 seconds. And this will make the surface completely chrome proof. It will eliminate buffing, cure this, and allow you to draw your design on the surface and chrome only that design. So it's like a chrome separator or a chrome isolator. Can leave that right here. Now after that, I'm going to use black metal effect gel to draw. I'm going to take that out. With any gel pen that you use for more than just its colors, you use for special effect. For example, like this gel, I don't use it for its black color. I use it because it's made special effect for me. After I'm done drawing it, I'm going to use it for chroming. So what I like to do is I like to mix it up first. To make sure all ingredient is mixed evenly. So my effect that I made can be nice and shiny like the chrome. Same with pigment. If you use a gel for its pigment special effect, then it's good to make sure that it's all mixed evenly. If it's a gel pen, if it's a gel polish, it'll be fine. Okay. Now after it's cured, I'm gonna take it out. And I'm gonna use black metal effect gels to draw now. And I will start out with my 10mm liners. And I would like to go around the strawberry first. Of course, you can draw whatever you like when it comes to this step. Wherever the black line is, it's going to be chrome. Now we're gonna draw the leaf. Start right here. I'm gonna mark one line. And remember, I'm only using the tip of my brush to move. And the reason why the line are so even, because I use this finger to put most of my pressure onto these fingers right here. So now my hand is nice and light. And I balance the tip of my brush when I draw. So these are about using pressure. If your pressure are uneven or if your hand are unstable without anchoring, then your line will be very unstable. I'm gonna curve in. So when you draw a straight line, it's not really about movement. It's more about pressure. When you draw a curved line, especially when you draw a line for coloring, now at that point, pressure is no longer important because your line don't need to be even at this point because you are coloring. So now more of movement. Movement like bend to the left and then slowly drag to the right. Movement need to be slow because if you move too fast, then especially for beginners, you will have a crooked line or your shape not going to be nice and pretty. And when you have drawn line work for many years, at that point you can start to speed up. Now we are going to cure this. 60-second cure. After that, we will take out our chrome. So what color chrome you're using, that's up to you. I'm going to use Rose Gold Chrome. This one is a solid chrome. It is spill proof. I'm gonna take that and rub onto the surface. And supposedly, it will only stick onto the black metal effect gel. It will not stick on anywhere else. I'm gonna take that out. Rub this on. Now, I'm gonna rub this in. You see, it's made so it stick right onto chrome, but it spare the background because the background I used Teflon Matte before that, so it's completely chrome proof. Now I just have to take the dust. It's called a fluffy, and I dust this up, and that's it. Nice and even, clean chrome surface. Now, what I'm doing is I'm dusting more in circular motion, because circular motion cover all angle, and up and down, left to right, that's just one angle. So I like to do this so it can get into all these crevices right here, especially on the side. And I would like to take a clean shadow applicators, and I would like to rub onto it again, mainly because it's gonna help you take up any extra excess dust out on the surface, and it's gonna make it even shinier. And after that, you can go ahead and dust one more time lightly, and then you can top coat it if you want. Okay, now I'm gonna leave it on the side. And I'm gonna demonstrate for you how to top coat your chrome. Okay, so I'm gonna cut out a piece of paper. So I want you to imagine that this is your chrome line on this piece of paper when you lay down a surface. Now, when people put on matte, put on Teflon matte, and then they use a gel to draw a line out, and then they chrome it. When they top coat the chrome, if you stay inside the perimeter of this chrome line, what happens is top coat only lay on the surface of this chrome line, and when your client go home, it's gonna chip on you. So if you wanna top coat the chrome line, you have to go slightly out so the top coat can stick onto the background too, so it can encapsulate your chrome line. That way your chrome line will be trapped in there. The reason why I do this, because this detail are very small, so it helps you if I make it bigger so you can visualize it more easily. So now I am going to take this palette and put on some top coat. So I'm going to clean this first. And I'm going to take out my shiny top coat, apply on the surface. Now I'm going to take this out, and the brush I'm using will be the coloring brush. So I'm going to take this and soak into the shiny top coat, and I'm going to start drawing. I will start covering the leaf first. Now since the leaves are very close together, I don't want my top coat to blend into each other. So what I do is that I top coat each other leaf, and then I flash cured it. The reason why I flash cure, so the top coat can freeze and be immobilized. So now it doesn't move. I can go on and feel on the leaf in between. here. Now, without any top coat on, when you seal it, you have to be very careful of make sure you're not missing out on anything, because if you do, then your chrome will chip because you don't have protection. So while I'm doing this, I also will tell you another way for you to seal your chrome. And this way are very easy and it's beginner friendly. That is applying matte top coat all over the design, including the chrome, so the chrome can seal and then the surface will remain matte. Everything else will remain matte, including the chrome. And then after you matte everything, you can come back with shine on just a chrome line. Now at that point, you no longer need to be careful because the chrome is already been sealed with matte. So when you trace back the shine, you can go through it very briefly. But this is without matte. You have to chrome carefully so the shine that will help protecting the chrome. Now, when we're done with this, we're gonna cure it for 60 seconds and we're gonna start using our 3D element. This is Play-Doh. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna turn the lid over so I can put my Play-Doh right here. And then I'm gonna use a spatula to take this out. Make sure your tool doesn't really get stuck to acetone, because if you have acetone present, then it will be become sticky because acetone will melt it. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna use this hand because this hand haven't touched acetone yet. And take it out. I'm gonna roll it around, and then I'm gonna pluck it apart because I don't want my strawberry to be too big. I would say that this is an appropriate amount. Let me see. Let me put on strawberry just to see. It can be a little bit smaller. Perfect. So you're gonna place it on. Give it a light press. Now you're gonna close your Play-Doh. You can use a tool to press this out, or you can use your fingers with a club on. This is a tool that you can use it to press it out like this. Play-Doh, what make it different than silicone is that Play-Doh, when it dry hard, versus silicone, when it dry soft. For specific purpose, just a few more taps to make sure it adheres. Just because it's a non-sticky gel, when you adhere, if you need to speed it up on the adhesion, you might use acetone, or you might use a little bit of sticky to stuck it on the surface. You don't need to be careful with the chrome around it because the chrome around it is already sealed. Okay, after you press it out like this, you can even do this. If you find this easier with a finger, I use the finger very often. It is the best tool for a task like this. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take bead and I want to apply it right into this gel so it can give me this strawberry effect. And I'm going to sink it down to cause a pattern for a strawberry, but I don't want the gel to cell level. Of course, this cell level very slow, but I want all the, I would say that the, I don't know how you call this one, like a dun, like a pothole. I want all the pothole to be nice and even. I don't want it to be uneven. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply this on just the surface. I'm not gonna press it in yet. And you can use a katana to do that, or you can use a brush that you stick a little bit of clear texture gel on and use that. But you see, I don't want to do that because I don't want to put gel on this surface. I want this surface to remain dry like this. Because see, it's dry gel. You don't want any sticky mess on it. But that doesn't mean that you can't. It's just a preferred option for me to use these. And I'm just gonna place it on the surface. It will stick on the surface, but I'm not gonna press it in. I'm gonna press it in later. I usually do one on each end like this and one in the middle, just for me to gauge the distance. This is also another move or another trick that you can use if you have trouble with space and distance. I know some people will have problem with it, and some people will be very good at it. Now, when you're done with your first line, you can start placing this in between the previous bead. Just like that. And then one more in between the previous bead. Okay. Now, I will give 2 beads on this side. And I'm gonna switch. But you see, I don't wanna do this because then I couldn't see whatever I did here if I go to the left side like this. So what I do is I'm gonna tell my client to turn the hand over like this. Turn the hand around. So I can do it upside down, but now I can see everything I do on the left, so I can gauge it well. This also is another trick that you can use on your client. 2 more lines. Each bead is in between the previous bead. Two more beads. Okay, now I am gonna press it all at once. So I'm gonna go ahead and you can go from right to left if you want, or from left to right if you like that. Or you can start in the middle. It's up to you. And I will use a tool with a blunt edge like the end of Katana, which is amazing to do this task. If it's pointy, it will be more difficult, but this is a blunt edge. See, in that pattern, it will create a strawberry pattern for you. Now, if you use clear silicone, it'll be slightly more difficult because clear silicone is cell level, where this clear clay dough, it have less cell level ability. So all the hole remain for you. Look at this. So now you're going to cure this. And you're gonna cure that for 60 seconds. I'm gonna close this. Now, clay dough does need top coat. So we're gonna take out our shiny top coat that we used before. And we're gonna use a coloring brush for this. But if you want a bigger brush, you can also use a round pointer for it. It's like the coloring brush, but it's way bigger. You can soak it into top coat. Now what I want is I want to go above first, meaning not touching the bead and not sealing the bead. I'm just gonna go in between first, and then I'm gonna do the bead later so I don't flood the bead too much. Round pointer hold a lot of top coat. You can use it and paint the entire strawberry. And just does a light layer, so if it drip down to the bead, it's not enough top coat to flood the bead. Then you can flash cure this. Then after you flash cure this, you can dip it into the bead to coat it. But again, it's not a lot of top coat, so it's just not enough to fill in the hole. It's just enough to coat the bead with top coat. So the top part of the bead will be sealed as well as the bottom part of the bead is already sealed with clear Play-Dohs. So now after you're done, you can cure, and that is your strawberry. Ostrich skin is very easy too. I already demonstrated this on another lesson, but for the strawberry, I also will include this in because it's nice and easy as long as you have the right material for this. Now, for the bead to stay on, first I am going to put on Baby Blush Nude again. Actually, I don't need to. I can just paint the whole nail with Royal Red Art Gel. I would like to use a flat brush for this. This is an oval brush. After that, let's go ahead and cure. You see how fast it is cell level? We can cure that. Okay, now after that, we're gonna put the bead on just like on the strawberry. But the strawberry are easy because the surface are a Play-Doh surface, so it thickens. So the bead is sink into the clear Play-Doh very easy and it's trapped there. Now, on a flat surface, you have to use a really good gel to hold the bead. If you use a builder gel, especially if it's cell level, then your bead will start sliding. It doesn't matter if you apply on a whole bunch, it will slide even faster because cell level means it allows product to move. So you have to use an element where product cannot move. And for that, we are using clear texture gel. Clear texture gel is similar like a builder gel, but it's opposite. It creates non-cell level, so product doesn't move for you. And it also can stick on chrome. It's used for engraving design and emboss design as well for crystal and beads. So I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to take out just a little bit of clear texture gel, not much. And I am going to apply. And remember to close your lid, especially if your room have window. You don't want your texture gel to be exposed to sunlight because it's cure faster than other gels, because of its unique ability. See, just a thin coat. Do your best to smoothen it, but it's a little bit of cell level in there also. It's not completely 100% cell level. So eventually it'll be smooth for you. Now, you now can use a liner brush. If you find that easier, you're gonna need to cleanse it first. What I use to clean will be the brush conditioning cleanser, which is a oil-based formula that are safe with all gels products. And I use it because it can condition my brush while I'm cleansing it. Put your brush in, rock from side to side, take it out. Clean with a paper towels, just like this. And now you can dip it into your gel, just like that. But you see, you don't want your brush to be caked with gel like this. So you're gonna take your brush and you're gonna wipe it onto the paper towel again. That will reduce the amount of gel on your brush. It still have gel on it, so it still stick to bead like this. But it's not a lot that is make the release of the beads very easy onto the surface. So now I'm going to take our paper towels. I like to pour a little bit of bead out on the paper towels. So when I pick up my bead, if the gel stick onto the foundation, which is a paper towel, it'll be okay. Versus if I dip my brush in here, I don't want my gel to stick onto the bottom of the jar. That will make the bead stuck together and it's not going to be very attractive for the bead. When you pick it out the next time, bead might stuck together and you don't want that. So now I am picking one bead out at a time and I'm placing it on the surface. And if you notice, the release are very easy. The moment you touch it on the surface, it let go right away. And because you use a liner brush, also the pick up are very easy too, because a liner brush are small. So you're able to pick up one bead at a time. I prefer to pick up one bead at a time because it makes it faster for me to release. I don't have to try to be tricky with the bead. If I pick up 2 or 3 beads, then I have to be tricky with it when I release it. But just one at a time, make it go very fast. Okay. Same here. In between of each bead. And like you can see, the bead stays still. And if you're the type of artist that like to play with bead, you might notice that when you play with your bead, it tends to move on you. It because most gel are cell level. And when it comes to cell level gel, it's make the bead very slidey. It moves everywhere. And when you use your brush to fix it, it doesn't stay still. Again, it'll keep moving on you, and it create a lot of frustration for a lot of nail artists. But with these clear texture gels, it built to make sure that these tasks are possible by keeping whatever on the surface very, very still. And it make it a lot more wonderful for nail artists when they perform these tasks. It's less stress for them. Now they don't have to focus as much as they did before with a builder gel. And you know, after using this product, builder gel almost impossible for me to apply bead on. So just in between of each bead. Now after you're done, you can also fix it. If this distance is too far, you can move it so it's closer, and notice that when you move it, it doesn't slide back. Doesn't mean that you cannot move it. This gel, remember, is not completely non-cell level. About 10% of it or 15% of it is cell level, so you can move it easily, but it's not going to move by itself. So now I can turn this upside down, as you can see. See, the bead remains the same. I can turn upside down and I can shake it vigorously. And it doesn't matter how long I shake it. When I stop, see, the bead remains exactly the same. In the same spacing, the same alignment, everything is the same. Now all you need to do is put in the machine and cure this. See, your client, you know, they're not going to stay still. Your client going to move the hand everywhere. And you see, as long as they don't touch it, the bead remains the same. Now I'm putting it into the machine, and I am going to cure this for 60 seconds. After that, we will talk about top coating and the bead that already onto the paper towels. What I do is I use a magnet to pick it up because my beads are not plastic. It's very high quality and it's made completely out of metal. So when I put the magnet on, it sticks right onto my magnet. And all I need to do is take it out and put it back here. Or you can take a triangle tray out if it's easier for you, so it doesn't spill everywhere. And you can put it on a triangle tray because it's bigger. And after that, you can take it and put it in to the surface, to the small little jar. So that is one of the benefits for having metal bead, is you can pick it up, no mess. Now I am going to close this. am going to take this out. Now we're going to learn how to top coat it. Top coat is a little tricky. I'm going to take out my matted top coat. Now, when you apply bead for a long time like mine, I can gauge the amount of gel that I put on. Not too thick, because you apply it too thick, then it drowns in the bead. It's not beautiful. Now, if you apply it too thin, what happens is when you brush your top coat, you might accidentally knock off some of the bead. See, when I brush my top coat, the bead doesn't move because the amount of gel that I put on are appropriate. About 1/3 of the bead will sink into the gels. I can zoom in so you can see. See, about 1/3 of the bead is sink into the surface of the gel. So now, if I touch it a little, it will move on me. But if your gel is too thin, it might move. So when you do this, just a precaution, and it's very easy to do, is you take a lot of gel and you tap it onto the surface like this. That will be a more of a gentle way to apply your bead. You just tap it onto the surface like this, and that will submerge the bead. That will not knock in the bead up, it will submerge it. Just like that. Just right in the middle, because you don't want gel to drip down on the side of your client now. So now you can use the amount of gel in the middle to tap out on each side like this. Then you can start removing it. I'm going to go up and down first. Now, when you remove it, different when you apply, because when you remove, you stroke very lightly. Versus when you apply, you're going to be very aggressive with your stroke. See, I'm just line on the surface like this to remove extra gels. And for the bead to show up more, I am going to remove this gel diagonally. Now, when you're doing this, it's very important for you to have a matte top coat that are cell level, because then it's gonna stay smooth for you. It doesn't matter how you're applying the gels. If your matte top coat is non-cell level, then this step gonna be extremely difficult, because the way you stroke it is leave a very thin layer on the surface, and if it built to be streaky, then it just keep being streaky and it refuse to smooth back. What this gel, you can see here, I am gonna lay it down for a while, and you can see that it slowly smooth itself back. And then when it does, you can go ahead and put it into the machine and cure that. Okay, good. It's already very smooth by now. And you can see the reflection of each bead. Now, you're gonna cure this. And this matted top coat, remember, this is not a chrome-proof top coat. Teflon is a chrome-proof top coat. But matted is a velvet matte. And what a velvet matte means is that it's matte very fast for pigment application. And you can see here when I put it into the light, you can see that within just a few seconds, it's already start turning matte. Now I'm gonna go ahead and keep curing it for 60 seconds. Then we will move on to an ombre lesson, and after that we are done. So I'm gonna take out another nail and do gel ombre. So with this nail, I am gonna apply my Baby Blush Nude right on top. One coat. And I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds cure. This is already done. Now, you can leave it like this, or you can take the curling brush with just a little bit of shined top coat, and you can shine the surface of the bead. And when it comes to this point, brush are very important, because if you take out a liner brush, you can see here that when you soak it into top coat and apply, it's very tricky because the brush wouldn't hold the top coat. You see that bead right there? It can collapse and it can flood it, your surface. So it's very tricky. And if you don't take enough top coat, like it doesn't have the bead right now because I take very little top coat, then it's an absolute joke to go ahead and take that and paint over the bead. It takes forever. So you need a brush like the coloring brush, because this is what its head look like. You can soak into top coat and it doesn't create a giant bead because its body hold the top coat. So now you just need to touch each bead and it will fully coat your bead. And because it's whole top coat, it doesn't release top coat out, so it doesn't flood the surface. So now your bead get coated, but your surface still stay matte, and the process are nice and fast because of the tool that you use. The coloring brush are amazing for top coat. Kill this. So now, after this finger is out, we are done with the other fingers. Now, for ombre, for beginner, I suggest that you apply it in a second coat and go ahead and sugar that coat with clear acrylic. Now, why a second coat? Because if your first coat are very light, then when you do the sponge ombre on, the gel down here will be heavier than the gel up here, and it will cause it to be inconsistent. So that's why I do it on the second coat, to make sure that the color is correct. Now I'm going to take out clear acrylic. You can use clear acrylic from any brand. And what you do is you tilted the nails down. So you can take a spoon, and there is a nail down here. Let me get that nail out. You can take a spoon and scoop on acrylic and pour it, and when you pour it, the acrylic, it will run down all at once, and it will keep your surface even while it's making the surface like a sandpaper. But it's nice and even, because if you leave it flat and you pour acrylic up here, then it will create a little lump of acrylic and will soak into the gel, and your surface will be very lumpy and non-attractive. So the trick is to tilt it down and knock up excess dust right away so it's even. But now it's like sandpaper. And the reason why you're doing that is so when you're using the sponge, it can grab onto the surface very well, versus with a smooth surface, it can just splatter the gel around and make it difficult for you. This is a trick that I recommend for beginners to use. And until this day, sometimes I still using that method, because that method make it easy for me to do ombre. Now, I'm going to take out my ombre sponge, and I'm going to apply my art gel onto the surface. And then I'm going to put on Baby Blush Nude. Now, art gel is different with Baby Blush Nude. It's a gel paint, and Baby Blush Nude is the gel polish. So you need more Baby Blush Nude on here for sure. The gel polish are much weaker than gel paint. You can twirl it around a little bit to pre-mix it. And then you're going to put it out on the sponge. You're going to sponge it onto the surface first to make sure everything is nice and even, and it creates like an ombre look on the surface like this. So you can sponge it on, and when you see a light layer of sponge, you can move your sponge down a little bit So this layer of red, it can soak into the pink and can make like an ombre. Now after that, you move in here and you're ready to make your first ombre. Start right here and you just run from left to right and you can see the ombre started immediately for you. Now if you have less gel on the surface, your ombre gonna be smoother than if you have so much gel that it make it splotchy. So sponging on the palette are very important to give you a nice, smooth, even ombre surface. And it's very important for you to stop in between and kid it for 1 to 3 seconds before you start it again, because that will temporarily dry the surface that you previously put on, so this new surface can stack on it. Now if you don't flash cure in between, then you just blend with one layer and it just keeps splattering around. So this is a more effective way. You can see your ombre is already forming beautifully. And what underneath is just a solid color. So what you can do is you can take out a oval brush, take out some art gels. I'm gonna put it right down here. And you can stroke over it like this because it's just a solid color, and solid color are very easy. You just fill in the tips. And you can build it up here, and you can clean your brush a little bit, and you can just blend in with the red itself. Red on red are very easy to blend. And then after that, you can cure, and then you can continue your ombre if you wish. Now you can continue it. Just depend on how much OCD do you have. If you want it to be more perfect than it already is, it depends on the pricing that you charge for your client. If you charge less, you're going to want to finish quicker. If you charge more, you want to be more perfect for your client. Either way, you're done with this. Now, if you tilt it up, you can see the sugary texture on the surface. Don't let these sugary textures affect you, because when the surface are sugary, it creates glare. So it gives you an impression that the ombre are not smooth. But when you top coat it, remember top coat at cell level, so it will smoothen out any detail on the surface. So when I brush it through like this, you can see the sugary texture disappear. I can zoom in for you to see over here versus over here. You see that sugary texture? So don't let it distract you. After you top coat, remember your ombre will become beautiful when you top coat. And this is how you do a gel ombre. Cure this. And it's easy because I sugared the texture surface first. So I prep the surface so it takes gel very well. And that technique is incredibly effective, especially when you're not good at ombre and you start out. You can use this technique to help you make a perfect ombre. And these are it for our lesson. Now you know how to do a 3D strawberry. You also know how to do the ostrich leather on the ring finger. And you know how to do the ombre on the index. And remember, if you don't have WhatsApp group yet, you can join. And whenever I go live, I will alert you from there, so you know what day you go live. Instagram Live will always be saved, and Instagram Live will always be on YouTube for you to rewatch. So if you are missing a lesson, no worry, you can rewatch anytime. Now remember, that's only apply for Instagram. Now on TikTok, we don't save our live. So whenever you see me on TikTok, then whatever you miss, you miss. But on Instagram, we always save our lesson, because we target beginner on Instagram, and especially people that just build a business. We want to provide a lesson for them to learn. All right, everybody, that's it for our lesson today. This live will be reposted right away. And until next time, I will see you on another lesson. And all our product today make it possible for this design is available at www.tinovo.shop. Thank you everyone for joining me. Let me see if I have any question here. You're welcome, Misha. You're welcome, Tracy. Okay. I don't see any lessons, so we're good. Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. I will repost this live and Tara will repost it on YouTube for you guys. Bye bye. Bye Tanisha. Bye bye. Bye everyone. I will see you later.